Good afternoon, folks. This is Deb. You know, uh, as we get closer and closer to this election, I'm spending more and more time just observing stuff. Okay, um, so I'd like to talk to you about a couple of things that I've heard. Um, just watching some people on town halls responding to questions. All right. So I'm not quite sure where I saw this town hall, where it was from, but I spent, a fair amount of time listening to some of these people talking about who they were voting for. And there was this one woman that stood out to me who said that even though Donald Trump is a criminal and he's a narcissist, she's comforted by the fact that he really does love America. Are you kidding me? I mean, how much lying to oneself do people have to do? Honestly. All right. Donald Trump does not love America. If Donald Trump loved America right now as it is, he wouldn't be trying to turn it into a fascist hellhole. He does not love America. And by definition, if you've labeled him a narcissist, he doesn't love America. Because in order to love America, you have to love the people in it. You have to care about the people in it. You have to want to do something for the people in it that improves their lives. Donald Trump is not interested in any of that. Narcissists don't care about other people. They don't care about other people's feelings. They don't care about what happens to other people as a result of their actions. And that has been quite plain for the past almost 10 years now. That cannot be denied. If you are denying that, then you are lying to yourself and you're lying to everyone else. Now, another thing I've observed, especially among young white men, because there's a fair amount of those people that come into my store when I'm working. They think Donald Trump is a good choice because he's a strong man. He's a strong man. Well, I'd like to point out a few things to these guys. Let's start with, the obvious. Number one, the man wears lifts in his shoes, okay? Because he's unbalanced, because he's 78 years old and he's failing, okay? The man also wears a girdle. The man wears diapers because he can no longer control his bowels. And people have asked me, why do you think there are so many flies flying around Donald Trump when he's giving speeches? I don't know. It could be any number of things. One of them could be that flies are attracted to shit. So not only could he have shit in his diapers, but he is a pile of shit to begin with. So maybe the flies know something that you don't. Donald Trump is not a strong man. And just because he shows a love for guys like Vladimir Putin, Viktor Orban, Kim Jong-un, that doesn't make him a strong man. Because in fact, guess what? I don't believe they view him as a strong man either. What I do believe is that they know they can manipulate him. And Vladimir Putin has been playing him like a fiddle since he came onto the political scene. And that's why Vladimir Putin wants him to win. Don't listen to Vladimir Putin when he says he wants Kamala Harris to win. That's the last thing he wants. He wants Donald Trump to win because he knows that Donald Trump is going to stick it right to Zelensky and hand the Ukraine to Russia. That's a plain and simple fact. The Republicans have stated flat out they're going to cut the money for the Ukraine. They don't want this war. They want Donald Trump to get whatever he wants because they are the Putin wing of our government. Okay? And it isn't just Donald Trump either. There's plenty of others. Donald Trump's not a strong man. You don't beat people up and call yourself a strong man. That's not a strong man. That's an abuser. There's a difference, okay? Strong men actually come to the defense of people who need to be defended. Strong men actually lift people up when they're downtrodden. Strong men understand that their role in government is to serve the people. And they do it without complaining. And real strong men don't govern and serve only the people that vote for them. You've never heard Joe Biden say he was not going to give money to the areas devastated by hurricanes simply because they didn't vote for him. But you have heard Donald Trump say that he wouldn't give California money for wildfires if he's elected unless they do what he tells them to do. That's not a strong man. That's an abuser. There's a difference. And a man who, I don't know, spends his time deriding other people is certainly not a man dealing from strength. And one final observation before I leave here. Misogyny is alive and well in the United States. I've heard several men say that this might not be the time for a woman president. Well, really? Let me put it to you as bluntly as I can. You guys have had 248 fucking years to screw this up. Okay? And now we sit here on the precipice of women losing everything. They've already lost their reproductive rights. They're bleeding out in parking lots waiting to be treated by doctors. They're being charged with murder because they've miscarried children. Okay, now we have Donald Trump talking about looking at contraception and limiting contraception. Now we have candidates running who say they'd like to return to a time when women didn't have the vote. If you think what they're doing to women here is going to stop with just their reproductive rights, then you're lying to yourself as well. And it has been my observation that most men, including some that I know, don't really put women's rights at the top of their list, even if they have wives and daughters, which is unfortunate, actually. That's a sign of weakness, in my opinion. But if you can put all of that aside and think that Donald Trump is a man who is strong and that this isn't the time for a woman president, I'm going to tell you, I'm calling bullshit on all of that. Because the reality is, this is the time for a woman president. Now more than ever, Kamala Harris must be elected and Donald Trump must never see the inside of the White House again. I will talk to you all later.